Barry, you're up now.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to come down tonight to express a little bit of concern and some public opinion on the proposed quarry that's proposed for Sheep Mountain, which is right across the street on Route 11 by the Gorham Sand and Gravel. This proposed quarry is probably, in the 47 years I've lived in Sevago, has potentially the biggest impact on our community that anything has ever had in this town, and may for a very long time. So through the act of many people in the community from all over, not just the residents of East Sevago Village, we put together a pretty good coalition of people to combat and fight to have this quarry permit denied by the town, and to change our ordinances within the community to be more restrictive on this type of activity and businesses and whatnot that even comes into the town. So we have, through a petition, got the town of selectmen to call for a moratorium to be voted in at the special town meeting next Tuesday night at the town hall at 6 o'clock. This quarry directly impacts not only the village of East Sevago, but the school. It's approximately, according to GPS, 17 to 1,800 feet from the quarry to the school property, which puts about 30 homes in this community within that 1,700 foot range, and over 45 homes within 2,500 feet of it, including our landfill, which is a huge concern because the landfill is probably the biggest hazardous waste site in this whole area. And it's capped on the top by, according to the DEP, with loam and clay and all that, but it's capped on the bottom with the same ledge that runs through the whole East Sevago, up Long Hill, all of Sheep Mountain. And if that is fractured, then all of that pollution could very well leak into the watershed to Sevago Lake and everybody's wells. The problem is we don't know if that will happen because we haven't had any studies. We also haven't had studies on the dust, on any of the toxin created by the dust, the watershed, the vibrations, the noise levels, the impact to the whole community on property values. And according to the town assessor, who I had a very lengthy conversation with, Mike, at O'Donnell's, anybody that's within this 2,000 foot range of the quarry would go down one class of property, which this whole neighborhood is called a middle class property. It would all go to low class property. And we all know what low class property brings to your community. A lot more stuff than middle or high class. It also doesn't appreciate the way that normal properties would. So that means if somebody on that end of town might appreciate 20% on value at the next assessment, the people in this village who are now in low class will not access at all any higher or lower, which means in order to raise the same amount of tax base, everybody else in the whole town is going to have to pay more to make up for the loss down here. So it does dramatically impact the whole community, not just East Sevago Village. And it basically brings no value to the town. In other words, we're not going to get any more money for property taxes. We're not going to get rich on the quarry. It just brings a burden to the whole town. So there's a lot of things that haven't been brought up. There's a lot of things that haven't been surveyed or studied. I know at the planning board meeting this week, they did ask Gorham Sand and Gravel to come back with a few things, but it's really not very extensive. Doesn't drill down to what they really want to do. I've seen some explosions from quarries, and there's a half a mile high, mile long plume of dust, which would totally engulf East Sevago Village in the dust. So I wanted just to come in tonight, spend 5 minutes, and express the people in the community's concerns of this quarry to the school board, and hope that you may do something to help us in our cause. writing something to the planning board or board of selectmen or both, expressing your concern as to how you feel this could impact the children in the community here at the school. It's not something to be taken very lightly. It's a huge impact on our community, and we don't want a quarry in this town of that magnitude, and we certainly don't want one in a village zone. So that was really all I came down for tonight, is just to kind of speak briefly on that. If you're interested, we're having a rally down here in the corner Sunday from 12 to 3, and you can come down and support the No Quarry cause. Anybody have any questions? Going easy on me tonight.
I'm pretty well informed. I've chatted with you, so.
Right. Well, I'm surprised that no matter where you go in the community, people don't even know about it.
Right.
And as more and more people find out about it, they go, "Oh my God, there's a marsh up there that's going to have a road built through it, and all the runoff's going to go into the marsh, which goes into Stony Brook, which goes into the river, which goes into the lake."
Right.
Maine Eco Trust is very interested in it. There's vernal pools all over the side of the hill. I hunt up there. I know that.
Right.
My house happens to be about 1,000 feet from it. Hartley Shaw's is 500 feet from it. There's other houses 800 feet from it. It's like no regard for the people in the community that live by it. And every time they blast, they're going to come in and do a survey of your home to see if they cracked your foundation. I want someone every 6 months going to my house, video cam in my basement. And then if it does crack it, you got to fight with their insurance company to get a settlement. I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense. Wendy.
Have you talked to either Luneco Land Trust or Lakes Environmental Association?
I haven't personally, but I know people in the community have, and they're very concerned about this sort of thing.
Okay. Because they could be our advocates.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Does anybody in the room have any questions for Barry?
Does Portland Water know about?
According to Gorham Sand and Gravel, it's no issue with the Portland Water District. And I think one of the planning board members, Mr. Plummer, mentioned that at the meeting the other night, that he called the water district and there was no issues with the water district.
Huh.
According to him. I've called the guy 3 times with no call back.
And have they done a traffic flow of this corner where the kids?
Mm-mm. According to Gorham Sand and Gravel, their plan, and they said they want to be honest, is to take 100,000 yards of aggregate a year from this quarry. Well, I didn't do very well in math. Sorry. But if you average 14 yards per dump truck divided by 100,000, that's 7,000 dump trucks. Well, in order to bring 7,000 full ones out of the quarry, you got to bring 7,000 in, empty. That's 14,000 trucks. And they said they want to do most of it between November and May, which is when we have school. And they want to bring 14,000 dump trucks through our village or Route 11 every year. And we know it's going to get bigger. If they start selling 100,000 yards, next thing you know, they're going to want to do 200,000 yards. And there's no limit on how much they can take out of it. So you have a question, John?
Well, the part in all this that I get totally confused about is that I've actually participated in the comprehensive plan a number of years ago. And as part of that, we ended up creating districts. And as part of that, the assignment of the districts of what would be permitted is in the comprehensive plan. I just don't understand how we have any, the way of phrasing it is at the moment, we don't seem to have anything, we don't seem to have any restrictions anywhere.
Right.
Because
I think the town attorneys kind of said it right, that our ordinances are a little bit weak and vague. Although you have to look at what was the spirit of the ordinances and what their intentions was, and done by good volunteers and people in the community who are not attorneys, did they really want to put a quarry in the middle of East Sebago Village? Probably not. Although the code enforcement officer seems to think that that was one of the wishes of the committee that put that together to bring businesses like this into the community. Well, not a quarry.
The comprehensive plan specifically states that we don't want any large-scale businesses in the community.
Got probably 15 or 20 feet of sand and then ledge. Every one of them. And all of our wells are right down the ledge. And as soon as they drop the water table in the quarry below the water table, where they drop the table down, everybody in East Sebago loses their water that doesn't have a drilled well. And I already got an estimate for $15,000 for a new well to replace my driven point. So it just impacts everybody in different ways.
And you may not be lucky. I mean, we've had an experience within the real estate market in which there's a gentleman bought a piece of property and he went out to get let's say a quote on the well, and going through granite, he wouldn't get any guarantees. And when you're talking about drilling a new well, there's no guarantee that it's going to work.
Right. And then it's not polluted with silica. It's the byproduct of the dust of the blasting of the ledge. Silica is the new radon. It's more hazardous than radon gas. And some ledge produces silica and some doesn't. Nobody knows if this project has silica in the core. We don't know, because you know why? There's been no study to show us that there isn't. So do we just say, well, it's probably not, and then 10 years from now, when half the people in town got cancer or can't drink the water, and the town has to bring in Portland Water District for, city water for everybody at millions and millions of dollars because we let a quarry come in and now we can't drink the water. Who knows? Nobody knows this. And the planning board is not asking Gorham Sand and Gravel to produce any of this information. It's just like, okay, well, no one's questioning it, so everybody must like it. So anyway.
Well, going back to your thought processes, part of their business plan might be to say, gee, we got the permit from the town, so it must be okay with the town, and then go back to the state and ask the state to, shall we say, verify it, instead of realizing that we're going to fight.
Right.
So thank you very much for all of the information and coming and commenting on that.
Glad I could be here tonight.
We do have on our agenda tonight an action item to adopt a resolution opposing the quarry.
Right.
So
I hope if you do adopt that you present it to the planning board chairman as well as the board of selectmen.
Good idea.
We've already discussed that we would publish it.
Great.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
You
and if anybody has any more questions, Barry is the lead on this opposition to the quarry. Feel free to contact him.
Yeah, I got done as fire chief because of politics, and now here I am.
Thank you, Barry.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Thank
It's been a
you.
pleasure to be here.
The lights will turn on as you walk out their motion sensor.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.